Good evening, everyone. A little louder? Should I be louder? Good evening, everyone. No? Good evening, everyone.
I don't know if they can hear you.
I don't think they can either. Good evening, everyone. Oh, that's high. Good evening, everyone. Yeah, that's. Welcome to the region of Waterloo Council Chambers, everybody. I'm William Short, and I'm the clerk of the region of Waterloo. It is my pleasure to introduce the 2022 to 2026 Council for the region of Waterloo. Mayor of Wellesley Township, Joe Nowak. Directly elected councillor from Kitchener, Carrie Williams. Mayor of the City of Kitchener, Barry Verbanovic. Directly elected councillor from Waterloo, Chantal Huinink. Directly elected councillor from Cambridge, Pam Wolf. Directly elected councillor from Kitchener, Michael Harris. Mayor of Wilmot Township, Natasha Solonen. Mayor of the City of Cambridge, Jan Liggett. Mayor of the City of Waterloo, Dorothy McCabe. Directly elected councillor from Kitchener, Colleen James. Directly elected councillor from Waterloo, Jim Erb. Directly elected councillor from Kitchener, Robert Deutschman. Mayor of North Dumfries Township, Sue Foxton. Mayor of Woolwich Township, Sandy Shantz. Directly elected councillor from Cambridge, Doug Craig. And your regional chair, Karen Redmond. Please join me in welcoming your 2022 to 2026 Regional Council. Okay. Please be seated, everyone. I would like to now invite Dr. Darren Thomas to provide a Thanksgiving address. Dr. Thomas is a member of the Seneca Nation and is Bear Clan and resides at the Grand River Territory of the Haudenosaunee. Darren is an associate professor in the Indigenous Studies program and associate vice president of Indigenous Initiatives at Wilfrid Laurier University. We will not be recording or webcasting the Thanksgiving address, so for anyone watching the webcast, we will resume the feed at the appropriate time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Thomas, for your profound words. We hope that they will serve to help bring Council's minds together for the work that is before them for the next 4 years. As a Regional Clerk, it is now my responsibility to formally call the 18th inaugural meeting of Regional Council to order. Every inaugural meeting is special because we have the opportunity to welcome a new council, but this meeting is also momentous as it has been 50 years since the Council of the Region of Waterloo was first elected for a 2-year term in 1972, and Jack Young became the first regional chair. Regional Council also held their first meeting in October that year, where incidentally the first bylaw that they passed was one-page procedural bylaw with no mention of issuing notice by email or electronic meetings. The junior choir from Sotheby Public School is now coming into chambers to sing O Canada. While they are coming in, I would like to take a moment to acknowledge Waterloo Region Arts Fund grant recipient Roger Skelly, whose album The Speed of Life was playing in chambers prior to the start of tonight's meeting, and the KKIM string quartet that will be playing during the reception following the meeting. We'll just get the choir in, and then I'll invite everybody to stand if you're able for the singing of the national anthem. Thank you to the Sotheby Public School for that wonderful rendition of O Canada. Everybody could please be seated. I will now like to call on Father Miroslav Tatarin, pastor at the Ukrainian Catholic Church of the Transfiguration, for the invocation.
Chair of Regional Council Redden, newly elected members of Council, employees of the region, honored guests. It's an honor for me and for the Ukrainian community of the region that I've been asked to offer the invocation of this inaugural meeting. While Ukraine and so many countries around the world face horrendous challenges, Waterloo region has been and continues to be a place of welcome and safety. Thank you. I'd like to begin by sharing a story. This past summer, our parish hosted a Speak English cafe for newcomers from Ukraine. On one of those evenings, a pair of women arrived late, looking ruffled, but very pleased. Here's why. They had the right address and managed to take public transit to the corner of King and Victoria. Turning right, they arrived at 131 Victoria Street. As all newcomers to the region learn, it's not always helpful to know north, south, east, west in the region. They turned right at the corner. They did arrive at 131, but not at the church. They arrived at ABC Auto Repair. No Speak English cafe at that site. Well, maybe a different kind. Unaware of our region's mysterious but critical north-south significations, they were far to the north when we were in the south. What to do? Minimal to no English, no car to repair, and expecting a Ukrainian-speaking church community. The gentleman working at the auto repair shop approached the bewildered women. Seeing the address, he realized the problem. Imagine, night approaches, you're lost in a foreign country, and a man is pointing far up the road in the direction you came from. Then another worker joins them and offers to drive them to the address. One woman is afraid. Surely it's less than wise to get into a car with strangers in a foreign land. The other woman, who has family in Canada, calms her friend. It's okay. We're in Canada. People here are kind. And so they were chauffeured to our church and happily described their adventure to us. This story is only one of many examples that can be offered by any newcomer to the area who has experienced the Waterloo welcome. It's a story that places a great responsibility upon all who serve this community in public office, because it reminds us all that our greatest resource is the warmth, compassion, and generosity of its people. So many of our Ukrainian newcomers have remarked how people smile and welcome as they pass each other on the street. They're amazed and grateful to learn that Ukrainian flags fly on homes and cars of people who are not Ukrainian. They meet people of very different ethnic backgrounds who will simply say, "We understand what you're going through because we have lived or are living through the same." Here, we do not have to worry about air raid sirens, missiles destroying our electrical and water supply, or the threat of military occupation, or, as today we heard, critical operations going on in hospitals when the power all of a sudden goes out. We are blessed to live in a region where the dignity of every single human being, regardless of background, life experience, lifestyle, or socioeconomic status, can expect to be respected. We're not perfect, but I think I can say we always strive to be better. And therein lies your challenge, dear members of council. Yes, you will have to deal with questions of infrastructure. You'll have to worry about budgets and taxes. You'll have those unexpected troubling issues that cannot be foreseen, but do have to be resolved. And of course, there's going to come the day when you're going to have to start thinking about re-election again. But the most important question before you throughout your term will be how to build on the human values which bring a smile to the face of a newcomer, joy to the eyes of children, relief to the souls of the homeless who finally feel they are respected as regular people of dignity. This is an overwhelming responsibility, but it is a shared responsibility, and it is one we can carry because we are strengthened by that power that comes from beyond all we know and gives life to this world. Our Creator has installed within each of our hearts a profound capacity to love. Love this world, love our fellow creatures, love every person we meet, and love ourselves. It is that capacity that I pray you may uncover within your hearts and hold on to throughout all the work you do for this region. So I offer you a simple instruction from an early Christian letter by St. James. Show by your good life that your works are done with gentleness born of wisdom, the wisdom that is pure, peaceable, gentle, willing to yield, full of mercy and good fruits, without a trace of partiality or hypocrisy. and the fruit of righteousness is sown in peace by those who make peace. To close, I paraphrase our Ukrainian prayer to the Holy Spirit. Comforter, Spirit of truth, who are everywhere present and fill all things, giver of life, come dwell within us and grant us your peace. Thank you, and may you all be blessed in all the work you do.
Thank you, Father Tatarin. As the clerk of the Regional Municipality of Waterloo, I can confirm that all of the members of council present this evening have been duly elected and are entitled to hold office for the 2022 to 2026 term. Congratulations to all of you, and on behalf of the staff, we look forward to working with you for the next 4 years to further your collective vision for the community. The Honorable Justice Lena Madsen has graciously agreed to take part in the ceremony this evening, and at this time I would invite Her Honor and Chair Redmond to proceed to the center table to officially swear in Chair Redmond. Following that, I will welcome Oliver Campbell to come up to present Chair Redmond with the chain of office. Chair Redmond, after you receive the chain of office, you may return to your seat, and Justice Madsen, you may proceed to swear in the other members of council.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Justice Madsen. It's absolutely my honor to administer your declaration. I would invite you now to read the declaration in full.
Thank you. I, Karen Redmond, having been elected to the office of Regional Chair in the Regional Municipality of Waterloo, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or in any other improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, and I make this solemn promise and declaration conscientiously believing it to be true, and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if I made it under oath.
Thank you very much. If you would sign, that would be perfect. Congratulations. Wonderful. It's now my pleasure to administer the declaration of office to all of the other councillors, and I'm told that the way that that is to be done is for it to be recited collectively, all at the same time, and then I will have very few words after that, following which I will go around and I will sign each of your declarations. So, it's a little bit like grade school. I wonder, you'll simply fill in your own name, obviously, but whenever you're ready, we can start as follows.
I, Dorothy McCabe, have been elected to the office of Regional Councillor in the Regional Municipality of Waterloo. Do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or in any other improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III. And I make this solemn promise and declaration, conscientiously believing it to be true and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath.
It's absolutely my pleasure to formally introduce all of you here to your newly minted regional chair and your council. were starting to recite the declaration. Initially, everyone was at a slightly different pace, but by the end, you were all together. And I've got to say, that's a really nice start. So wonderful. Congratulations to each and every one of you. It's my honor to be part of this important moment in our local democracy. Each of you has an absolutely crucial role to play in the life of this regional municipality. I'm certain that you will all dream big, work hard, collaborate inclusively for all of our regional residents. We count on you to do so. Congratulations again. There's a lot of work ahead. I wouldn't want to detain you a single additional moment, so I will stop here. Thank you for sharing your gifts with us.
Okay, thank you very much, Justice Madsen. It is now my pleasure to hand the floor off to Chair Redmond for the remainder of the evening.
So good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. I want to begin by thanking Dr. Darren Thomas for the Thanksgiving address. It is a fitting way to begin our inaugural meeting. While it replaces our usual acknowledgement as a demonstration of our commitment to reconciliation, Dr. Thomas, you have created a foundation and a welcoming that is this term of council in our community can continue to build upon. A heartfelt personal thank you to you for your continued generosity to our council and organization, both through your time and your expertise. I am honored to make this journey with you and our Indigenous peoples. So inaugural meetings are momentous occasions. They're serious. That is why we also invited Justice Madsen to officiate over our public declarations as new council members at the region of Waterloo. Father Tatarin's message reminds us all that while we may live in the region of Waterloo, we are all citizens of the world. What happens elsewhere impacts and has personal repercussions on us as a community. As a community and as individuals, we have traditionally stepped up to offer help. These acts of inclusion underscore the gift of democracy that creates a base for us as a nation. Father Tatarin's message speaks to the strength of faith, whatever personal beliefs we may have as individuals. From my perspective, service in elected office has always been as much about the future as it is about the present. That's why the participation of the Sotheby Choir singing our national anthem is so meaningful. It's also why the participation of our eldest grandson, Oliver Campbell, was so personally significant. Today, we welcome the future council leadership at a very interesting juncture in the region's history. With no shortage of challenges, there are any number from which to pick. Is it inflation, supply chain issues, the need for speed in building housing that's attainable, the needs of our homeless population, investments in infrastructure to attract talent and investment, as well as the opioid crisis? One could label some of these challenges as unprecedented, but every council has had its challenges. One of the strengths of this region is the historic view of previous councils that transcends a 4-year cycle of municipal elections. This type of vision has delivered real outcomes for our residents. The region of Waterloo's success is a product of careful planning and unwavering commitment to values. We see this in the commitment by successful councils to the light rail transit and the way that it now reshapes our community. We see it in the relationship built over decades between planners and First Nations people, resulting in a close and meaningful collaboration on infrastructure projects and our most recent regional official plan. We see this in the health of the Grand River, a waterway once so polluted our parents told us as children not to swim in it. Now the Grand is as clean entering the region as when it crosses our border into Brant County. We see this in the regional of Waterloo International Airport, once a small municipal airport that is now the 6th busiest in the country, home to a nationally significant flight school and a center of gravity for aerospace innovation and economic development. My request to council and to residents is that we plant new seeds to watch grow and tend those shoots while they are still in their infancy. I think particularly of our affordable housing plan, a 10-fold increase in the number of affordable units per year across our community. While the landscape has changed, our commitment to housing for all remains a critical responsibility. How can we work better to support our most vulnerable residents, to animate community providers, and to attract provincial and federal funds? I also think of our region's vision for 15-minute communities, how we can deliver on the missing middle policies of the regional official plan and ensure that we not only build more housing, but the right housing across our region. From unprecedented challenges, we can sprout innovative solutions. What is truly unprecedented is the change that we have witnessed around this council horseshoe. These changes are also reflected in some of our local councils. Municipal government is the closest to the people. It's also a team endeavor. Who is at the decision-making table matters. What we see when we survey the regional council team of 2022-2026 is a council who more accurately reflects the community that we represent. And make no mistake, this did not happen by chance. This is a product of support of friends, family, and mentors, as well as municipal campaign schools focusing on gender diversity, as well as cultural diversity. Thank you to all the candidates and the volunteers who contributed to this change, and who are also planting seeds for future change. I want to take a moment and thank and acknowledge my team, to my husband Warren, our family, the campaign team, my CFO Tim Rickard, and my friend Kim Hewson, who served as my campaign manager. I simply could not have done it without you. More work remains for many public sector organizations and municipalities to better reflect and in turn shape our growing community. All this must be done amidst a climate of polarization, online toxicity, and eroding trust in leaders. But now is not the time to take our foot off the gas. As we tend to present issues and the unknown challenges of the future, I would ask Council to remain thoughtful and good-humored. We have a capable team of knowledgeable staff behind us, delivering frontline services, providing us with advice, and listening to our community. It is incumbent on us as elected officials to raise the level of discourse in our community, to model the tenets of good governance and of civility. Sometimes the best thing we can do as politicians is to listen. For residents, I ask you to continue to be engaged. Many of the regional council priorities are only achieved through the success of community partners. We have seen this with volunteers and vaccine staff over the pandemic, with the innovative work of local housing providers, and with the advocacy of residents around important issues like anti-racism. Through all of this, we must remember that this council doesn't get to make the easy decisions. It is often a choice between impractical and imperfect options, a trade-off where cost, delivery, time, or risk tolerance can all be casualties. The just-in-time nature of our modern world does not train us well for these scenarios. There are simply some things you cannot Google, and some things where next-day delivery is impossible. Not every answer is a binary yes or no. More often, the answer is yes and. My favorite example of yes and, as some of you may already know, is the Waterloo Institute for Sustainable Aviation, or WISA. The Institute is at the intersection of so many amazing assets in our region. WISA is part of the University of Waterloo and brings together experts from academia and business, locally and globally, to solve interdisciplinary challenges and train the next generation of aviators and innovators at our airport. I am not sure that it gets much more Waterloo region than that. When I first met Dr. Suzanne Kearns, WISA's founding director, and Dr. Jean Andre, a longtime and recently retired dean of Waterloo's Faculty of Environment, they put their problem definition to me as follows. We know more and more people and businesses want to use airplanes. We also know that air travel is extremely damaging to the environment. The answer is not to ignore carbon impacts or ignore the need for air travel. We need to pilot a new way that acknowledges the contradictions and makes the sector more sustainable, more resilient, more future-proof. In a way, I think that's the task that lies ahead of Regional Council. Our region will grow from 630,000 residents to nearly 1 million by 2051. At the same time, we have adopted an ambitious climate change plan that recognizes the importance of groundwater, our local agri-food sector, and the importance of our natural environment. The entire premise of our region is that we shouldn't have to choose. We need to pursue both. In Waterloo Region, growth and sustainability are not contradictions. They are 15-minute communities. They are the country's smallest municipality with an LRT, an integrated system of transit and active transportation, an ambitious affordable housing strategy, plans for 121,000 new housing units, 3 world-class post-secondary institutions, and a nationally significant employers in proximity to a growing airport and future provincial transit nodes. That's how we're making Waterloo Region more sustainable, more resilient, and more future-proof. We must continue to embrace contradictions. We must think big. I look forward to working closely with all of you over the next 4 years, and I have every confidence that we are equal to the task before us. Thank you. So colleagues, now I would ask, we have a little bit of business to do, if there are any declarations of pecuniary interest under the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. Seeing none, we have one report before you. It is the Regional Chair report on the agenda, and it is a recommendation to approve the committee appointments for the term and council meeting schedule for 2023. I would seek a mover and a moved by Councillor Harris, seconded by Councillor McCabe. Because we're all here in person, we can just raise our hands. So everybody who is in favor of the report as well as the schedule, if you would please indicate by raising your hand. May all of our votes be unanimous, colleagues. I see no other business. Next, we have a bylaw to enact first, second, and third readings. And this is to appoint a rotation for acting chair through the term. And the other is to confirm the actions of council this evening. If I could have a move by Councillor Vrbanovich, seconded by Councillor Erb. Again, please raise your hands to indicate if you are in favor. That's 2 for 2, Will. So that is carried, colleagues. And now everybody's favorite agenda item. Could we have a motion to adjourn? But before we do that, I just want everyone to know there is a reception in the main lobby, and we would welcome you all to come down and celebrate with us. If I could have a moved by Councillor Solomon, seconded by Councillor James, please indicate. That is carried. Thank you, colleagues.